Well, I decided to take a cruise around the property. We had it logged out 2 years ago, if you can believe it. You couldn't see through the property starting right here where I've got this crimson clover. Crimson clover is past due. It needs to be bush hogged down. It looked really nice, just a nice sea of crimson heading on that way. You couldn't even see through the woods. It was just woods right up to the gravel here driveway. We had it logged out except for some select hardwoods, poplars, cherries, and dogwoods, and a few sweet gums that made the cut. Had a forestry mulcher come through and grind up all the slash that was on the ground, and there was a ton of it. Came through, overseeded with some rye in the fall, but what we noticed that first summer exposed to the light was we have this Bermuda popping up. Bermuda just popped up. It was in the seed bed. It was there. All it needed to do was get exposed to sunlight. It's coming out of dormancy right now, as you can see, in between the fescue that I overseeded. It's May of 2021 right now, and I overseeded the fescue back in the fall during the cool weather, and it really came alive during the spring burst of sun, and we just got 3 days dump of rain, and now you can see it's huge. I keep a couple of little stands of cover so I can run my dogs through them, training some retrievers, so they need to push through cover, and that's essentially the way I bush hog it. Now it's up like crazy just in the last 3 or 4 or 5 days. Need to go back and bush hog it again, bring it back down to something manageable. But what I'm driving over here to show you is what I did through the Georgia Forestry Service. Is I ordered 500 elite straight loblollies starting in 2019 and about 6 months ago in December of 2020, and we put them in the ground. 500 trees the last 2 Decembers, and this is just last year, a loblolly. That's my hand up against it, so that's at least 12, if not 14 inches high. Just put those in about every 6 or 7 feet. We're also getting some wild ones. This is kind of exposed right here. Didn't really get, some great protection, some great rain or whatever, but these two certainly took off. Whatever was right for those conditions, soil wise, or just the way we planted them, and mulch, and they didn't get dried out, and they just really took very nicely right there. So those are 14 to 16 inches high just since December. This, on the other hand, is from 2 years ago. And look at that, that's up to it's past my knee. So that's 24 inches high. There's another one that kind of just branched out for whatever reason. There's another one that's 24 inches high. I put those in December of 2019. There's another one, for whatever reason, likes where it was. Another one, that one's almost 3 feet tall. There's one in the middle of a bunch of crap, bunch of muscadine vines and stuff that's overgrown, saplings from cut down poplars. We're just trying to screen the road here. We don't really care what's growing, but I've intentionally put 5-6 rows of loblollies in about every 6 feet. And usually about the 3 or 4 year mark, you're going to have a nice 6 foot high wall of them, depending on how you spaced them. This is an area that I'm just kind of reforesting. Don't really use it, but I want it to grow up and screen off the road. As you can see, we got a truck coming down the road right now. Road doesn't get used all that often, but you can definitely see it and hear it from the house. Off in the distance there, you can see that's the remnants of the loader dock. That's where they did the bulk of staging, cutting, delimbing, putting it on trucks, and getting it out of here. Of course, I'm reaching down, grabbing these wild geraniums every few steps. These things just take over. I don't know what it is about the environment here, but these wild geraniums are just crazy, and they get huge. Anyway, I've been trying to overseed. I had local tree service come in, drop 7 truckloads of wood chips. I spread those out. Spreading some rye, some fescue, oats in there. Don't know really what happened. We had some germination, and then we had some freezing temps back in December, January, February. Couldn't really get the cool season stuff to germinate. We did, towards the south of the right-hand side of the screen, but nothing in mass yet. Probably going to overseed it with some brown top millet. And you can see poplars here and there bending over. They don't have the strength of their buddies from the logging, so they kind of got top heavy. And then they droop over, they get pushed over in the thunderstorms and whatnot, or they break like that one did. Got some sawtooth oaks from a nursery nearby, about 27 of them, put about 20, 21 in the ground just about 2 months ago. This one's 5 feet high. I mean, it was 4 feet high when we got it. Came out of dormancy really nice. There's another one leafing out really nice. Every now and then during a spell of hot weather, I'll take the sprayer with 25-gallon sprayer on the back of the golf cart and drop a gallon of water in on it. But it's doing pretty nice. Like I said, we just had a good amount of rain, inches and inches, and just huge deluge. There's another one that looks pretty healthy. A couple little brown spots on some of the tips, but you can see the new growth on the right-hand side there. Let's see. Made an attempt to put some loblollies in this mess here, but God, there's so much muscadine vine and briars and everything else, and slash. But you can see there's one. I'll touch it with my foot. Kind of has a little bend in it, something with leaning on it. And then you get a lot of water through here, and it really piles up the debris and the waste. Let's see if we can see. That might have been one I put in this year, here and there, just to fill in the gaps, the ones that don't survive. I don't know what the survival rate on planting these loblollies yourself with a dibble bar, but there's one right there. That's 2 years old, and it looks to be about 18, almost 20 inches high. Some more over there. And then you've got some wild pine as well, wild, just naturally occurring, from seeds that are in the seed bed that sprouted. That's a nice one right there. Real nice, very healthy. Got a lot of mulch, get some good amount of rain. Another one, these are 2-year-old, 2 foot high loblollies. Got them from Georgia Forestry. Can't beat the price. $500, or excuse me, $50 for 500 trees. $50, 500 trees. Last 2 Decembers. There's one with the briars, whatever berry bush is growing up around that thing. And when I'm out here with gloves, I usually help them out and pull some of the briars off, give these pine trees a chance to come up and take off. That one looks good. Another 2-footer right there. So it'd be nice if I could get, what we're calling the food plot over there, a loader dock, to get germinated in green. So brown top millet is probably going to be what I end up spreading here as the weather gets a little bit warmer. Don't want to spend the money on Bermuda or anything like that over there. There's another sawtooth coming along. Plenty of sun. Got this thing. Long, skinny, really took off. 7 feet high. Can't beat that. Gotta stake it out, put a little rope on it. It should stiffen up here as it matures. What else we got this way? Got some maples, some poplar, cherry dogwood in the mix over there. Kind of same thing there with some remnants of the crimson clover. Try to keep that under the trees. Looks pretty. We're not really doing anything under the trees anyway, so you might as well put some crimson clover down and put some nitrogen back into the soil, help the trees out. Don't know whether you can get the color, but it's past its maturity. It's kind of fading out, but being an annual, we just let it go to seed, and then it'll come back next time we have some cool weather. Tried to do it over here as well. And this is our hardwood forest. About 2 acres. Mature hardwood. Oaks. White oaks, red oaks. Maybe a water oak in there somewhere. Lots of poplars. Deer really love to come in here. It's almost like rain in September when the acorns are dropping. Look at that thing. It's got to be 70, 80 feet. Huge poplar behind that with the sun on it. And some more crimson clover. We like the crimson clover. Looks real nice in the spring. A little bit in here. And another row of some loblollies that me and my son put in. You can see those things right out here in the sun. A little bit of mulch around them, helping retain some moisture for them, but they look pretty healthy. They look pretty healthy. Keep getting some rain and they should do pretty good. There's another one, not doing so great, right out in the sun. Kick some mulch onto the base of those, just to help it out a little bit. Good thing we got some rain though. Everything needed it. See this one as well. Just get a little bit of mulch up there. Looks like it's kind of dying. Still got some green left. What do you do? Not all of them make it. But we're hoping. Another one. And then we got some more in here. We started 2 years ago. You see those? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Right about there. A couple of them right in there, and then further on in, I don't know, 17, 18, 20 inches high. A couple right there, look real healthy. Well, that's about it. 2 years of a little bit of attention, some fescue, some wild Bermuda, natural Bermuda, whatever you want to call it. A little rye last year, had some rye, but turned it to fescue this year, and it looks like it's pretty healthy. As long as it keeps raining and the temps are the way they are, 48 degrees this morning, should get a bit more growth. Time to bush hog though. All right, we'll see you.